Let's now talk about grammar translation method, which is undoubtedly one of the oldest and traditional methods of foreign language teaching. That's why it's also called a classical method. GTM initially was used for teaching Greek and Latin somewhere in 14th and 15th century, but it's very difficult to trace its origin. It remained popular till 19th and 20th century for teaching foreign languages in various parts of the world. By the mid of the 19th century, it was used in Germany by various scholars, and then later on it was shifted to other parts of Europe for teaching various emerging popular European languages, including French and German. And it also traveled to USA for foreign language teaching. GTM is generally criticized for its inability to cater learners' communicative needs, because the advocates of direct method believe that this grammar translation method do not have enough space within itself to include learners' communicative needs in the real life situations. Talking about the basic assumptions of this grammar translation method, we could see that it focuses on learning a foreign language through translation instead of other modes. It also believes that grammar is the soul of a language. Similarly, it considers language learning as a part of liberal education, which opens doors for learning other things available in the same language or the target language. We could see that it focuses on the structure of L1 and tries to compare it with L2 or otherwise in order to make language learning more healthy, according to the advocates of grammar translation method. We could see some of the important goals of grammar translation method include to read the literature of the target language. The learners who learn a foreign language aim to benefit from the intellectual development or the literature produced in the target language. It also focuses on the translation ability of the learners and believes that learners would be able to translate from target language to local language or from local to target language. Therefore, L1 system is maintained as a reference system in order to check the ability of the learners. Therefore, many critics believe that it does not view language more than a mere collection of rules, grammatical rules, and usages. Reading and writing are the basic skills which are focused in this grammar translation method, and very little attention, or sometimes even no attention, is paid to listening and speaking. Similarly, vocabulary items and grammatical rules are expected to be learned by learners through memorization. Some of the popular practices and techniques in GTM include a bilingual word list and dictionary items. Students are asked to learn the words in a passage through these lists and by the use of dictionary. And grammar is taught deductively. Students are expected to cram some general rules of grammar and then apply it on different uses they can confront in passages or even separately from the passage. Therefore, there are always translation and grammar exercises by the end of every passage students read. The sentence is the basic unit of learning in grammar translation method, and students are expected to translate sentences from one language to another repeatedly. And more importantly, students' native language is the medium of instruction within the classroom. In this way, accuracy is emphasized in GTM as compared to fluency or proficiency of the learners. A typical GTM lesson would include reading a passage, and once the reading is complete, students would be expected to do some composition exercises, some question answers based on their understanding or comprehension. A word list comprising synonyms, antonyms, or asking students to provide synonyms or antonyms. And then we have memorization drills, composition, and summarizing or précis drills. Grammar translation method has also been criticized for various reasons. One of the important reasons is that, as I mentioned earlier, it focuses on accuracy of grammatical rules instead of the fluency within the language for communicative reasons. It also, based on this, do not properly cater the needs, communication needs of the learners. And it emphasizes, rather overemphasizes on the language as a mass of grammatical rules instead of a real life tool for communication among human beings.